So Maxi Kleba said, I think the pressure is more on their side to win the games. We have at this point nothing to lose, so we just go out there and play free. And that came up before game 4. That came up with like maybe a different style of the fan base coming into the arena. Do you buy into the Mavericks have a psychological advantage? Because I know Golden State does not want to go back to Dallas. Not to say that they're doomed or anything, but I know they don't want to go back to Dallas.
I don't quite believe that.
Okay.
I want them to believe it, though. Like, I want Jason Kidd to be in there doing his, look, they can't guard us one-on-one. They have to play zone, those weaklings. Now, when we go into zone, it's because we're good.
Zones are for cowards.
But, like, I want them to be so into their own bubble that they're not worried about anything else. So I don't think that they have a psychological advantage per se.
Okay.
I just think that it is interesting. How much do you not want to go back to Dallas versus how much do you want to win this game? And I think that Golden State's more focused on just on winning the game rather than any other things. They don't. When do they feel pressure? Because they don't look to me like a team that feels pressure. They look to me like a team, like the way Steph runs around and does his thing. Draymond's going to be mad about something at some point in the game. And Clay, most oftentimes, just looks like he's a deer in the headlights. And then he's going to hit a 3 on you at the second half. So who's feeling that pressure of having to win this game? Maxi, I hope you guys believe that. That's what y'all have to do is buy in for each night and have a new motive for that game. I guess they don't want to lose, like Steve Kerr and company don't want to give too many minutes away to guys that don't deserve them so they can try and close it out. So maybe some of the decision-making would be on Steve Kerr with the pressure, but man, he's felt that before. Like his whole life has been pressure. Like he gets it. He's won championships at so many different levels. So I'm not buying it. But do you think that it exists, or do you think that Golden State is too good of a team to actually feel that way?
That is exactly what I think. Now, I think there could be a psychological advantage if the Mavericks could win this game and then go back to Dallas. Again, not to say that they're going to win the series, but I think they would have a definite pronounced psychological advantage going into Game 6. And then Game 7, all bets are off, especially if you came back from a 3-0 deficit. But like, sports logic tells you that this will be like the Nuggets series and that this was, Game 4 was the Mavs' last stand and the Warriors will finish it off in Game 5. So I am not of the opinion that the Mavericks have a psychological advantage in this, but I would love it if that were the case.
All right, let me ask, this is way ahead of schedule here, but let's say they do win this one and they do push it to a Game 7. Like, are you looking at that going still house money? Or are you looking at that going,
no,
man, now the pressure's really on both sides for both teams? Because for the Mavericks, if it isn't a house money type idea right now, that we're just here, we're getting the experience, we're exploring and learning what we can do. I'm at Game 7, now you have a chance.
And I think that way one game sooner. Like,
even Game 6? Okay.
Yeah, I think if the Mavericks, which I'm not picking them to win tonight, but I do think if the Mavericks win tonight, you can win this series. Like, I realize I'm well aware of the concept of 146-0. That's what teams in the NBA are when they're up 3-0. And you know how many times do you think teams have gotten to a Game 7?
In 3-0, down 3-0? Never.
3 times.
Okay. Wow, that's impressive.
The Mavericks were on the wrong end of one of those, but luckily then they won. Well, I say on the wrong end because they lost those 3 games to get it back to Game 7, but they did win. So teams have only gotten to Game 7 3 times out of that 146 times. So logistics tell you they lose tonight. If they win tonight, it's 3-2. And all you have to do is win back at home, which you shellacked them last time at home. And then Game 7, well, last time we were in a Game 7, you shocked the world. So I heard what Troy and RJ said this morning. I'm not ready to go that far down the path, but I'm done with house money if they were to win tonight.
Like this, and house money wouldn't even exist if they'd have won game 2. Like that's the frustrating part about losing game 2.
Yes.
The way that you did is you would actually be in a position of power right now, probably.
Yes.
If you had won game 2, which you should have won. And I think that I don't know if it's Jason Kidd or the team that's going to look back and say, dang it. Now, maybe Kevin, because he didn't call that timeout and he gave his team the freedom and opportunity to do that, and they failed.
Yeah.
Pretty historically. Like,
Yes.
This is the Mike Maddox theory that I always had, was he's going to let you fail. And then when you fail, you will listen to him because you need to listen to him. So maybe they are back in the, like, that proved to them, okay, we gotta listen to coach. We weren't doing the things he wanted us to do, which was what? He wanted them to go get better shots, and he wanted them to drive to the basket. And they refused to do those things while they were up because they were like, we'll just keep hitting these big threes and everything will be fine. And he was like, no, we need to do these other things to this team specifically. So maybe he did get them to learn a little bit. But like that's a very frustrating part about, I guess I keep saying young team, but we established they're the 8th oldest team in the NBA.
Yeah.
So maybe it's the part of being young and the experience of learning how to win and win these types of series whenever it gets this big.